It's no secret that things have not been going well for Mercedes Mone. It has been atrocious. It has been a mostly terrible start from a fan's perspective. But before we get into, talking about the negatives, I do want to say that she started off well, and that I'm still rooting that Mercedes Mone can somehow come out of this. But right now, it's not good. And it's all coming off of the promo, one of the worst segments I've seen in AEW, because if you look at the YouTube videos and you look at other videos next to each other, you notice that, very colorful and stuff like that. But then when you get to the promo from AEW Dynamite, you see how dark this is. One of the worst lit segments I've ever seen in professional wrestling. And in this worst lit segment, they're actually going to shut the lights off, which is ridiculous. But right now, Mercedes is a major problem. I put up a poll on Twitter, and I asked people, man, what do you guys think? Who's the top female performer in AEW? Let me know who you think it is. And right now, the poll is at about 83 votes at this small sample size, obviously. But Toni Storm blowing it away, 83%. Number 2 is Britt Baker with 7.2%. She's barely done anything. Thunder Rosa, 6%. And Mercedes Mone, the biggest signee, probably the biggest paid, the most paid person in this list, in this group. And she's in last place, 3.6%. For whatever reason, she is disliked and hated at this point. Now, granted, she came back from a career-threatening injury, so I never want to take that away. And God knows, I've only bought merchandise from one female wrestler ever in the history of wrestling. 39 years old. I've only bought a female wrestler's items one time, and that was Sasha Banks, her glasses, her shirt, all that stuff. When she was on a roll in NXT, I absolutely would pay to see her, 100%. Love her. Obviously, she's a local girl, went to the same wrestling school that I went to, knows so many people. I know all these people that know her. She's always been great whenever I've seen her before, and she made it to the WWE pretty fast, to be honest. But people are saying negative things about her everywhere. Not to bury her or anything like that, but I'm just saying it's not looking good. Just podcast after podcast, I can dial them up.
Level piss poor actors and putting them on TV, hoping that they will get better as time goes on. And then you also have directors and producers who are allowing that to happen because they're inside the bubble, and because she was over, because they told us that in WWE, even though her stuff was worse, if not than what we're seeing here, it was just produced better at a higher level, so it covered it up. Now it's on our TV show and it hasn't been upgraded, corrected, or anything at all, but we're still going to put it out there because she's over, don't you know, inside the wrestling bubble. That's a huge problem that no one will like, we paid a shit ton for her, even though we bought, a subpar performer in anything we're trying to do. And we really have no idea where we're going. So let's mix her in with Willow Nightingale and the other girl who used to be a cheerleader turned into a witch who's now half stripper. Like, we have no idea where we're going with any. A cheerleader turned into a witch who's now half stripper. Like, we have no idea where we're going with any of these people. None of them have any stakes. And if you're going to outline who's in your upper echelon, it's not off of some bullshit from fucking Japan where she faced Willow Nightingale. It's based on the fact of, who do I have that needs to get made? Toni Storm.
Well, anyway, there's a little clip. I thought that was an interesting take from channelattitude.com. And I think that, man, like, she's just getting just so many people burying it all over the place.
Changes everything, because money changes everything.
I do like her as a heel, though. I think that Mercedes is going to work better as a heel with this sort of, with the way she's been. Like, she's going to work better as a heel. This has not been good with her as this face talking the way she is. Just comes across as like conceited and nasty and better than everybody, and then the stuff she's doing isn't good, and so therefore they got to do something else, with her. Going over to Ringside News, there's so many articles we could bring up. There's so many things we could bring up on on this situation. It's not going well. Mercedes Mone labeled as AEW's biggest failure among recent signings. So, I mean, this is going on right now all over the dirt sheets, too. It's not just, me. And they write about this. Conan talked about this on Keeping It 100, and they bring that up here in this article, but I don't even need to read this stuff. It's like this stuff. AEW Dynasty is tonight. By the way, if you guys are brand new to the channel, hope you hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think. But AEW Dynasty is tonight, and let's go over the card really quickly. Because I don't know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to watch, but I'm going to tell you right now, I guess what I'm thinking, because people have asked, so here it is. Okay, so tonight, AEW Dynasty, 0-hour Ring of Honor and AEW Trios tag matches, The Acclaim versus Bullet Club Gold, Orange Cassidy and Shibata versus Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Trent Beretta, Matt Sydal. Who cares? I'm gonna say that I'm just gonna say that the Acclaimed hang on to those and keep those trios titles. Adam Copeland and Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe versus the House of Black. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the good guys are gonna win that match. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson should be a fire of a match. It should be nuts. That's really one of those ones that people are circling. Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson should be nuts, should be wild. What if it disappoints? I don't know. But Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson, the match that basically is going to take place, even though you really want to see Ospreay versus Triple H because he cut a big promo on him and that's all anybody care about. But now he's facing Bryan Danielson. Who cares? But the match should be good, so we'll see what happens there. I'm going to go Will Ospreay. Bryan Danielson will put over Will Ospreay. I think that's just makes sense to me. FTW Championship match, Hook versus Chris Jericho. I'm going to go with Hook. Jericho will put over Hook as Jericho's train is breaking down. He wants to do something good for Hook. I would think that would be the goal. However, it is a potential if Hook is leaving. If I was Tony Khan, after all the press about Hook being like, oh, I want to go to WWE maybe, or I might want to go somewhere. If I was Tony Khan, I'd be like, oh, yeah, you want to go somewhere? All right, Hook loses to Jericho, and we'll never see Hook again. So either Hook is leaving, and this is his last match, and Jericho will beat Hook, or if this is a launching pad for Hook, then Hook will win. So depending on which one happens. But I'm going to say that Hook is staying, and I'm going to pick Hook to win. AEW International Championship match, Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. Too many championship belts. As we know, this is stupid as shit that this is a belt, that this is a match, that these two guys really matter that much. AEW Intercontinental Championship match. So stupid. Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly, though, that could be a good one as well. We'll see what happens in that match. I am going to go with Kyle O'Reilly because he's a newbie again. A lot of noobs going over tonight. A lot of new people going over tonight. A lot of people younger, newer, need to come up, that sort of thing. AEW Continental Championship match. So fucking stupid. AEW Continental Championship match. Okada versus Pac. Pac and Okada. Should be a fun match. Could be an interesting thing. And this card is really telling me, man, that we are working our way towards the New Japan of America version of AEW. We are now basically, if New Japan could possibly convert themselves into a USA promotion, AEW is now becoming that based on this card. AEW used to be a broad-based company with some New Japan style matches, some Young Buck type of stuff, hardcore type of stuff, crazy street fight, and then a couple of classic style 80s, 90s wrestling matches, and it would round out the pay-per-view to make it well-rounded and awesome. But this is going to be a just onslaught of video game Tekken, just false finish jack-offery that's going to take place tonight. And it's going to be, are you going to get sick of it? Will it mean nothing to you when it happens? Or will these guys thrill all night long to the point where your pitch in a tent that's ready to take off into outer space and fluids are leaking out early on? I don't know, but we're going to find out tonight. So Pac versus Okada? Nah, man. Okada is Okada, bro. And he's facing Pac? Huh? I don't think so. The guy that's always got to go back to the UK for 7 months and take a break? I don't think so. Okada 100%. I bet my cock and balls on that. AEW World Tag Team Championship ladder match. The Young Bucks versus FTR. The Young Bucks are EVPs. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the Young Bucks go over in this match. I know you would think it'd be the good guys that would go over, but I think everybody's a loser unless the Young Bucks win. Young Bucks win, they get all this heat. They look like assholes. FTR kind of sucks anyway now. I love FTR, and I like the Young Bucks, overall over the years, but it's just one of those things. I don't know. I don't really care about this match that much, so the match better be good. AEW TBS Championship match, Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. Another I don't give a crap about it. TBS Championship match. I'm going to go ahead and say that Willow Nightingale will lose. Actually, I'm going to say Willow Nightingale is going to win. Willow Nightingale will win, and they'll. Well, actually, you know what? That doesn't make sense with some of the other stories that are going on and some of the other things they're booking. In fact, this match was booked. Why did they book this match like this? Okay, so no, Julia Hart. I got Julia Hart winning. Wow, okay, I'm going to change. Julia Hart's winning this match. Okay, AEW Women's Championship match. Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. Love Thunder Rosa. She is phenomenal. We love her here. She's been on the show, been a friend of the show for years. We love her. I love her. And we love Toni Storm. Clearly from that poll we showed you earlier with the women, Toni Storm's on fire right now. Therefore, even though Thunder Rosa is making her comeback, big showing, big something or other, I am going to still pick Toni Storm to retain tonight. Although I do think it's possible Thunder Rosa could win, I am going to pick Toni Storm, and potentially it will be some kind of cheat or something like that happens with Toni Storm. Probably one of the matches story-wise you're looking forward to the most, although it is eclipsed with some of the just acrobatic, insane athleticism that's going to be shown off in some of these other New Japan-style wacky video game matches that are happening tonight at AEW Dynasty. AEW World Championship match, Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. What a build, what a thing, what a time. They're trying their best to put over Strickland. Definitely possible that Samoa Joe could hang on to this belt and continue to be world champion. But Swerve Strickland's already failed so many times that to me it's like almost now or never. I don't think Samoa Joe is crazy as the champion, and I think he's less risky. Samoa Joe is the safer champion. He's going to solidly carry that title as best he can until someone who can come along and actually take it from him, who can be put over and really, shine in the company. Is that Swerve Strickland? If Tony Khan believes it is, then Swerve Strickland's going to win tonight because it's finally time to give the belt to somebody like this and somebody new and let this guy try to become something. Or is it too early, though, and the safer bet is Samoa Joe? Because let's be honest, Swerve Strickland could sink or swim. Right now, Samoa Joe is a solid, safe 7 out of 10 AEW World Champion, heel, tough guy, looks legit. Swerve Strickland could potentially take off and become more than that and get over in a way that's exciting and crazy and be the world champion. However, he could also do poorly and fail at it somewhat and take that belt down a notch and take that step down a notch. So if I was weighing these pros and cons, I don't know, because also if Swerve Strickland were to lose, people could lose more confidence in him and he could be devalued. But he's also, people aren't clamoring for him quite enough yet, I feel like. So this is a tough decision, but I am going to go ahead and make a guess that Swerve Strickland is going to win the title tonight, and they're going to take a risk, take a chance on Swerve Strickland tonight of him beating Samoa Joe, although I think that is extremely risky, and I really have no problem if they keep it on Joe and keep riding that until they figure out what to do next. And I think that would probably be the better bet and the safer bet in the long run to keep it on Samoa Joe. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go against my bigger brain, and I'm going to say Swerve Strickland could and will win tonight against Samoa Joe, and they'll take some kind of shot, especially with the ratings dipping and the way things are going. Just try something different, see what happens. Worst case scenario, you put it back on Joe pretty quickly. I don't know. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think tonight? It's AEW Dynasty. And what do you think about this poll where Mercedes Mone is just getting buried? Let me know in the comments down below. And if anybody drops a super thanks, I will put you on the top. I will pin you to the top of this video. My name is Joe Cronin. If you're brand new, I hope you subscribe. I hope we earned your subscription today. We are crowdfunded, so use super thanks down below, paypal.me/Joe Cronin Show. Go to patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Become a patron, and you get over 1,000 episodes of podcasts you've never heard. From comedy, crazy stuff, podcasts with my wife, other people, the Corrupted Podcast, Morning Madness, podcast with me and Jesse, Jake, stuff you've never heard, songs you've never heard, hundreds of song parodies, the podcast with me and my wife, the podcast with me and my mother. There's so many podcasts. They're up on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. I'm Joe Cronin Show, and I'll see you tonight, potentially after AEW Dynasty. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I don't know. We'll be here. And what did you think of what I said about Mercedes Mone? We want to hear about what you think about that, too. And please leave that like button down below. By the way, one thing you can't take away from Mercedes, she is smoking. Bro, you can't take that away no matter what. I hope she comes out of this funk because right now, man, she is getting buried, and that sucks, but that's what we're seeing right now, man. We can't help our real feelings. I'm Joe Cronin. Here's some other stuff popping up right now you might have missed on my channel. Keep watching.